I woke up sober this morning because I went to bed sober last night. Today is 1,242 days of continuous sobriety. Day 278, stacking silver, little bit of gold, getting on YouTube, having a blast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sobriety and Silver. I switched things up a little bit, about got myself confused. I'm used to saying my sobriety days after my intro. Uh, anyway, I hope everybody is having a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. What I would like to do in this video is go over step 1 of Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous 12 steps. And the way this idea came up was I really been struggling the last couple of days to come up with an idea for a video, because where my wife and I have the move coming up, I'm taking a break from stacking silver right now, and I just want to wait until we get some stability and more comfortable, and then I will certainly resume stacking my silver because I love doing that. But yesterday my wife said, well, why don't you do a video on the 12 steps? And I thought, man, that's awesome. That was a great idea. There's 12 steps. That's 12 videos I can do. I can do a whole series. And so that's what I'm going to do. So for the next 12 videos, maybe not all 12 in a row, because I do have some world silver coins coming that Snakebite's sending me. He's not into them, and he offered them to me, and absolutely I'll take them. So thank you, Snakebite. So I will have a box opening, maybe one or two. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the very first step of Narcotics Anonymous 12 steps. Now, Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous are pretty much the same when it comes to the steps. Alcoholics Anonymous, their first step is we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. Narcotics Anonymous is we admitted we were powerless over our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. And I prefer Narcotics Anonymous because it changes that word alcohol with addiction, which covers everything. Doesn't matter what you were addicted to, this can apply to you, and even AA can as well, because alcohol is a drug. It's a legal drug that causes chaos in people's lives. Now, one thing I will be doing, I hope you guys don't notice it too much, I will be pausing the video because this is something that's very important to me, and I want to do the very best I can in bringing this video to you, so I'm just not rambling and stuttering and stammering around. There are 3 points that I want to break down for the first step. And it took me a long time. I'm telling you, it took me 5 rehabs to get this. And this is the way an addict's brain works sometimes. I mean, alcohol was a major, major part of my addiction, but there were other drugs that were involved. And there for about 3 or 4 years, I was really addicted to opioids, pills. And I had to have both. I couldn't drink without the pills, and I couldn't take the pills without the alcohol. Both had to be satisfied for me to feel normal. So, for me to take that long, 5 rehabs, to actually get what the first step says and understand what it means, I went to the same rehab 4 times in 8 years, and it just didn't click. Finally, the 5th rehab, which was a different rehab, it clicked. This actually made sense, and this was explained completely different. Instead of just going over the first step and saying use honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, which you do have to do. But the very first couple of words, we admitted. Now, I didn't have a problem admitting it to anybody. I would tell my family, yes, I'm an alcoholic. Yes, I have a problem. Yes, I need help. But admitting it and accepting it are two different things. I really would. I'd tell them I'm going to be like this the rest of my life. There's no way I can beat this. I was defeated before I ever tried. So we admitted we were powerless over our addiction. The 5th rehab I went to, I remember sitting in the class, and it was a small group, and I started talking, and we were going over honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, and it just came out that I accept that I'm an alcoholic. I am an addict. There has to be something done. There has to be a change of mind, a change of mindset, not just a change of lifestyle. I have to completely change my mindset in order to come out of this rehab and have a chance. The other 4 rehabs I went to, I just used those 28 days basically to get healthy again, to get my weight back up, to get the vitamins I needed in my body. And I came out, don't get me wrong, when I came out, I had every intention of staying sober, staying clean. And it just didn't work out. I couldn't get 90 days. I think the most I got was a 6-month chip. But this last rehab that I went to, things just changed. It was completely different. Because not only was it different, I did admit and I did accept that I was powerless. Nobody wants to admit that they're powerless over anything. But to say that I was powerless over my addiction was a huge step, because then it clicked, it dawned on me, something's got to change. Something's got to be different. And that's what happened. I changed my mindset. I started appreciating, even when I was in rehab, in a controlled environment where there was no drugs and no alcohol to be had, I started appreciating waking up sober. I started appreciating going to bed sober. And I would thank God for going to bed sober, and I thank God for waking up sober. So I admitted and accepted that I was powerless. And boy, that's a hard word, powerless, over my addiction. I had no control over it. It had total control over me. I had absolutely no control over it. And then the last part is that our lives have become unmanageable. My life was completely chaotic. Unmanageability is not even scratching the surface to what my life was during my active addiction. It was, you never knew what was going to come up that day. I might be laughing and joking, drunk. I might be mean and nasty, drunk. I might be gone, drunk. I might be in a different state, drunk. But out of all those, there's that one common denominator. I was drunk. No matter what, every single day I would be drunk. Even on Sundays when the liquor store was closed, I would have to drink beer. And I'm talking about a lot of beer, because it took a while for the beer to satisfy my alcoholic urge, because I was a heavy vodka drinker. So step 1 does take some honesty. It takes being open mind, having an open mind, and some willingness to admit, accept, and that word, powerless, over our addiction. And we are powerless, guys. It has complete power over us. So I encourage anybody, if you are struggling with any kind of addiction, do not give up. I have met people that have been to 12, 14, 20 rehabs, and they finally got it. It took me 5. And I've had a wonderful 3 years and almost 5 months sober. I love going to bed sober. I love waking up sober. Do not give up. No matter how many times you've relapsed, no how many times you've got a few days and just messed up. Do not give up, because it will click. You start stringing some of them days together of going to bed sober and waking up sober, you're going to start living life, and life is wonderful. It's beautiful. You guys have a blessed, beautiful day, and we'll try step 2. Step 1 again, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. Read that first step and break it down. You guys have a beautiful day.